Today on the channel, we prepare for the takeover, the fan takeover that is, with WWE Mattel Ultimate Fan Takeover, Randy Orton.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Fan Takeover unboxing and review. And today, we got a Fan Takeover Ultimate with the Amazon/Mattel Creation exclusive, Randy Orton. But for all your Randy Orton Fan Takeover exclusive needs, Amazon or Mattel Creations. But for everything else under the sun, hit up Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Ringside come up with these in the future as we see some of these fan takeovers go that way. It's been a long time since we've got elite fan takeovers, but Ultimates, every once in a while we do seem to get these. And the latest and greatest here is Randy Orton shipping out right now if you're after it. And if you want to know how we're going to do this review, guess what? We're going to do it like all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And what can you say about Randy Orton? Many figures over many years, going back to the Jakks days. Always fun to get a throwback early career Randy Orton. One of my favorite times of Randy Orton's career, before all the tattoos took over, kind of. But this is part of his time, of course, with Evolution. We all remember that. We all remember the Motorhead theme song, of course, Todd McFarlane, you're exactly right. But always liked Randy Orton. Always liked Randy Orton throughout the years. But that being said, very plain Jane. There's not a lot of different looks for Randy Orton. You get the early days with less tattoos, but for the most part, it's a guy in trunks. Very, very old school, but does limit some of the excitability of some of his figures. He doesn't have the color palette of a Sting or the Ultimate Warrior or, you know, all the different looks Roman Reigns has given us maybe, or Seth Rollins, but still a good idea for a figure, and not the first time we've got an Ultimate Randy Orton. We'll do some comparisons of that in a little bit here. But it's your standard Ultimate style box. Randy Orton there at the top. Big window box there for autographs if you need it. Ultimate Edition looking good. Early Randy Orton over here. And what's he got? Oh, it's his Intercontinental title right there. I was like, what is that on his shoulder? Of course it's his title belt. Intercontinental title. Fan takeover right there. Randy Orton. Fan takeover down low. Then on the back, we get the blurb. We get the tail of the tape. We get the glamour shot of the figure. We get the glamour shot of the man as well. Looking good from what? WrestleMania 20, I think is what this one was. Height 6'5" from St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, I'm going to say it. I always say it, Todd McFarlane. Somebody get me an Emo's pizza. Wouldn't be good for everyday pizza eating, but once or twice a year, get me an Emo's. Finisher, the RKO, career highlights, WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion. It does show the different options had. Of course, the fans got to vote on this. WrestleMania 20, a huge winner on this one. Interesting to see. The rivalry between Randy Orton and Mick Foley had simmered to a boil, and that is never good if you've ever had a rivalry with someone. After the youngest member of Evolution had beaten, battered, and embarrassed the hardcore legend, the two had a date with Destiny at WrestleMania 20, along with a few friends, as Evolution battled the Rock and Sock Connection. And was that Flair, Orton, and Batista versus Foley and The Rock? I think that's what that one was, wasn't it? And was it the match? I'm trying to remember on the top of my head here. Wasn't that the lead up? Wasn't it where Randy like threw Mick Foley down the stairs? I remember that was a big, big moment. Mick taking the header down the stairs. Then they had that like really extreme match. Was that the month after WrestleMania maybe? What is time? It's hard to remember these things. But that feud did put Randy Orton on the map for a lot of people. A lot of people took him very seriously after that Foley feud. And the RKO helped some stuff as well. And then the Legend Killer on the other side. So we get that usually here. With our Ultimates, those little Easter eggs on the side of the package. You know I'm here for that. See you later behind the back. Behind the back, goodbye. What are you doing? I don't know. Plastic Randy Orton prison. He's locked up, and we got twist ties. We got Orton locked in some twist ties. Let's free him, how about? Oh, he's got the twist ties going. We're going to get down to twist tie business here. Oh, my gosh, locked around the legs, too. I thought it was just the arms, but nope. We're getting them, and for you guys that don't watch anything but my wrestling unboxings, man, you're missing out on a lot of good fun, let me tell you. But I am saving all the twist ties that I unboxed this entire year, primarily McFarlane, but a lot of Mattel as well. See you later, goodbye. And I will give away a fabulous prize at the end of the year. If you can guess the weight of the twist ties for 2025, I do got my collection right here. I got it in a protector case full of twist ties. And we're going to weigh this, and somebody's going to guess what the weight is going to be. And you're going to win a fabulous prize. A fabulous prize. We did it last year. It went over so well. We're going to do it again this year. We're going to do it again this year. Whoa, losing stuff out of the package here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Twist ties all over. Got extra hands. Got a lot of stuff going on with this Randall Orton. And we got the old sky hook, like a young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Or you're right, Tom McFarland, my dad on the playground. That's for sure. But we got Randy Orton out of the package. Let's dive into it here. But let's dive into the accessories first. Get them all straightened out. We do get hands. Extra hands, that is. We get 2 fists of Randy Orton Fury, perfect for those punches and bunches. And then you get the very stereotypical Randy Orton hands. Every once in a while, Seth Rollins now, but it's the mystical, maniacal hands right here. He's putting it up there. He's doing the thing. He's striking a pose is what he's doing, like a young Madonna back in the day. We do get the Intercontinental title belt. A classic Intercontinental title belt, and I am fully aware there's a whole generation of guys and gals out there, maybe you're one of them, that this is their Intercontinental title belt. When they close their eyes, when their head hits the pillow at night and they think about that Intercontinental title belt, this is what they think of. Not me. I think of the one, I guess, before this, basically. That is my Intercontinental title. But this one is nostalgic, and I will say as the years go by, a little bit more nostalgic each year for me personally, but for some, that is their Intercontinental title belt. Looks good there. We do get the Evolution soft goods shirt, and happy to report this is a regular shirt. This isn't Velcroed in the back. So looking nice with Evolution there. We'd love to get more Evolution wrestling figures. Now, we did get that pack at Target. What is Time? What is PAX? What is Target? I'm not sure. But we got one not too far back. But we'd love to have Ric Flair obviously re-signed to the WWE Mattel Legends deal so we can get some figures of him. But I feel like there is some more meat on the Evolution bone for Batista, Triple H, Orton, and obviously Ric Flair. Maybe one day we'll see that one. We'll see what happens. But looks pretty good. I'd love to get a suited Randy Orton from that time frame. And I guess you could create your own if you really wanted to. But nice to get this shirt right here. Authentic product, it says in the back. That's a nice little attention to detail as well. But now we're diving into Randy Orton. And I got to say, Randy Orton, as I kind of talked about at the beginning here, there's not a lot of pizzazz with Randy Orton, but these extra hands, the title belt, the soft goods shirt, and 3 heads gives him a little bit more pizzazz. Now, maybe not as fancy as a, Sting or whoever you want to be, Seth Rollins. Some of those guys got the detailed robes. They got all this extra stuff. He might not have that, but I think they're doing the best they can as far as Ultimate Randy Orton's could be. But let's dive into it here. Let's start with the head sculpt department. I believe this is a new head for young Randy. Got those teeth showing. Oh, beautiful teeth. Not aged by coffee and cigarettes like you, Todd McFarlane. Maybe not. But looking good here. He's got the smiling face, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Got a haircut you can set your watch to. When I was a little kid, I used to go to my grandma's all the time. Loved going to my grandma's. And I would bring my wrestlers, sometimes LJN, sometimes Hasbro's, depend which way the wind hit me, Todd McFarlane. And I'd say, Grandma, could I bring this guy over? And I'd start with like the Rockers. Can the Rockers come to your house? And she'd say, absolutely not. Those long hairs, not allowed. Not allowed in here. Could Hulk Hogan come? No, there's something about that. She knew, just like I did, that there was something with that Hulkster that was no good back in the day. And then she welcomed Ultimate Warrior in. Nope, she wouldn't even let Ultimate Warrior in there. But it was always tough. But I forget, who did she always let in? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look over there at my Hasbro's and just say, who could come in? I can't remember. If you had long hair and you had a beard, you were out. So it's funny to think all these years later, would my grandma let me in the house? Of course she would. She knows that little Kyle. She'd let him in all day long. I know Rick the Model Martel was one that was always welcomed in. Obviously, he was a model, but man, he was looking good. But she let him in. Anyways, long way to get there. Long story time with Kyle. Randy Orton would be a day one let in the house. However, he would have to cover up all these tattoos. So I'd put the shirt on him and I'd trick Grandma. And Grandma would say, yeah, let him in. He looks like a nice boy. Then I'd take his shirt off. She'd be like, oh my gosh, he's got tattoos. Get him out of here. That's what she would say. I know my grandma all too well, but does look good in the head sculpt department here. Second head. Ooh, a very worried look. You know, this is when Mick Foley was going to get his comeuppance. He was going to give him to Randy Orton. Got the open mouth there, looking like a lost puppy dog. Scary one. Nice new head sculpt. Now, what's the third and final one? Just a very stoic, regular, plain Jane Randy Orton. So you do get a new head sculpt I like a whole lot. And I think, are most of these new? Maybe we saw this one before. They're very kind of generic, and he is kind of generic. Just white meat baby face is what this head screams, even though he wasn't at the time. But 3 good heads on this one. This is a sleeper ultimate. I don't think this will be a top 10 ultimate for me this year, but I think this is a sleeper one that I can see some people pass by, which maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. But let's dive into old Randy. Goes pretty fast at this point. Long and lean. He's 6'5", looking very good. It's weird to see Randy Orton before all the tattoos took over, is what it looks like to me. You do get the arm tattoos here around the bicep. A little bit cut, kind of a weird spot position for it, but kind of is what it is, I guess. We got the tattoos on the shoulders there. You do get a little bit of forearm tattoos, and then, of course, the back. Then, of course, later on, we got full-on sleeves with Randy Orton, as we do know. White wrist tape, 2 gripping hands out of the package for him. Blue trunks, looking very nice. Got those graphics, and it does say Orton on the back, just in case Ric Flair, somebody says, nope, those are my trunks. It says Orton on the back. Oh, they're your dad's. He let me borrow them a long time ago. Maybe, maybe not. But it's funny, as you think back to the Jakks days, we got a ton of Randy Ortons, and it was basically the same figure with a couple of different heads, and then it was the same trunks, just different colors. That's what they would do all the time, and you could do that with this one ultimate-wise if you really needed to. Black knee pads on here, black boots. Besides that, long and lean, as I said, it's Randy Orton to a T. Now, his arms do go all the way around. Arms should be removable. Yep, they are removable if that is your thing. You do get the butterfly shoulders, bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits, hands back and forth, side to side, head removable, back and forth, side to side, a little bobbleheady on this one here, not as tight as I would like it to be. You get the ab crunch up there, the dumbbell, all kinds of movement, waist back and forth, side to side, drop down hips, plus leg goes up, thigh cut, double jointed, pin knees. Yes, pin knees on this ultimate. What are we doing there? Boot cut, ankles back, forth, side to side, made in Vietnam. So no Vietnam problems on this one. Outside of the bobblehead, but I can look past that. I can look past the little bobblehead stuff. But looking interesting. I forgot to mention, too, he's got the new boot mold on here, but you also got the toe articulation for Todd on the couch. Always got to represent that. But all in all, not a bad Randy Orton figure. Not the greatest ultimate ever. It's not going to, on first look, it's like, oh, I'm going to go past that because there's some that maybe catch your eye a little bit more. But there's some funness right here. Would love to have a Batista, a Ric Flair, and a Triple H in the ultimate form to go with this. Have them in their shirts, maybe suits, I don't know. But it is fun, a moment in time, and really the part for at least me personally, where Randy Orton's career got catapulted to that next level around this time. So cool to have that represented. And I think the fans made the right vote. This is what I voted for, and this one won overwhelmingly in the fan vote, part of this fan takeover. So there it is, fan takeover ultimate Randy Orton. What's your guys and gals, especially you gals out there, what's your thoughts on this Randy Orton? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and we got even more content for you on Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com is my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, every Tuesday, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. So for Randy Orton Ultimate, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
I'm solid gold.